I almost was about ready to start without actually pressing record, which would be interesting because how would I, you know, record this news video without pressing record? Um, we do have a lot to talk about, and it's a lot of unfortunate news or deflating news, but we'll get to it. Well, not a lot of it, there is some, but we start with an update on Randy Orton as WWE actually contacted Dave Meltzer, letting him know to basically disband any rumor that Randy would come back at WrestleMania, and temper fan, I guess fan feelings, would that be the right word, about Randy coming back, because it was never a plan to have Randy come back at WrestleMania. I think I may have mentioned that. I think if anything, Randy would come back. I thought if anything, Randy would come back after WrestleMania. But I can understand WWE attempting to quell the rumors, but reality is, who was it? It was the bootmaker. The bootmaker, or a known bootmaker, came up and said that Randy ordered boots for his return, which started the story of people expecting Randy to come back soon, or hoping that Randy would come back soon. And, it built up from there with Randy being rumored to be in Los Angeles, where people then got excited about the idea of Randy coming back and had the desire of Randy coming back, or the desire for Randy to come back. But, I mean, the best way I could put it is, either way, even with WWE trying to quell the rumors, it could be that WWE is just trying to quell the rumors because of the fact that they want to allow Randy's return to be a surprise, rather than Randy's return to be known and everybody to be expecting it. But as I mentioned the last time I mentioned something about Randy Orton returning, we're at least getting good news now, and that's what matters. But speaking of news, if you're curious about what happened with Enzo Amore and MLW, then I suggest Googling it, because it's a very hairy situation, or it seems like a very hairy situation from what I've seen in the reports from Fightful and various other news outlets. And it's just, I don't want to say unexpected, but it's just, you don't know who's telling the truth. You don't know how much of it is true, and a lot of it doesn't make sense, is basically the best way to put it. So if you're curious about why Enzo got released from MLW, then I suggest just taking a look and just looking it up, taking a look, and seeing what you can see, because it's interesting, but it's also, what do you believe, because of the craziness of what Enzo is saying. Like, how much do you believe who's saying what? You know what I mean? I guess is the best way to put it. Tonight, though, on NXT is the start of the Carmelo Hayes era as NXT World Champion. One thing that I did try and put together a video, but the reason why I was unable to use the video is because of copyrights. And, the fact of the matter is, I said in that video, do we see Braun Breaker get another title shot against Carmelo Hayes, or is Braun done with NXT? And will Braun be disappearing until the draft and until he gets called up to the main roster? The answer to that question is, I don't know. I don't know, and with all things considered, and the fact that the next NXT pay-per-view is in May, if the draft is in April, I don't understand. I wouldn't understand why you would give it to Braun Breaker if Braun is going to the main roster. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, and I think that WWE should consider Braun Breaker coming up to the main roster and having a plan for Braun when he comes up to the main roster. Not to say that he should be featured, or not to say that not to say that, like, he shouldn't be the one that goes in and faces Gunther from the outset, or he shouldn't be the one doing this. I'm just saying that when he comes up, he should have a plan. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to come up, and the best thing for him to be is the one chasing the belt from Carmelo Hayes for at least a month or so. But we'll see tonight how the new NXT will take shape under Carmelo Hayes, and the new era begins tonight on NXT. And one last thing is, we have a lot of previews to come, and I will elaborate a little bit more on that in the next video, as Battle Riot 5, War Chamber from MLW are both taking place this week, and Sakura Genesis from New Japan is the next big event from New Japan that will be taking place on Saturday. So we got a lot coming up, and like I mentioned, we got an update on Vince McMahon, unfortunately, that I will spend a lot of time breaking down in the next video. With that being said, though, I will see you in the next news video.